Salvete. Here we are at the beginning of our Latin journey, and the first important grammatical thing that we need to know about Latin is looking a bit at its sentences and how they work. Before we can do that, I just want to check that you know what a couple of different parts of speech mean. So parts of speech refer to different types of words. Firstly, nouns. These you may have defined in primary school as a naming word, and they can apply to people, places, or things. So they are something that you can name. Another important word that we need to know is a verb. This is a doing word and it refers to an action. Now let's look at a couple of Latin example sentences to see how they work. So this first one here you'll recognize Caecilius est in horto, which we know to translate as Caecilius is in the garden. The next one here, another one from stage 1, Cerberus est canis, Cerberus is a dog. Then Metella est martyr, Metella is the mother. What do we notice about these? Firstly, it's very important to make sure that when you are translating Latin sentences into English that you add in the words the and a, depending on the context. In Latin, there's no word for the or a, but in English it sounds funny to say Caecilius is in garden, and I think I've told a few of you that this is caveman English, so don't do it. So add in the or a, whatever sounds best to you, to make the sentence make sense. Secondly, word order, and this is where it starts getting a bit different. Metella in atrio sedet translates, if we go word for word, Metella in the atrium sits. Or in better English, not caveman or Yoda English, Metella sits in the atrium. Next one, Caecilius in tablino scribit. If we go literally, Caecilius in the study is writing. That sounds a bit weird. It's better to say Caecilius is writing in the study. Next one, Quintus in triclinio bibit. We're going to put that into English. Instead of saying Quintus in the dining room drinks, turn that round and say Quintus drinks in the dining room. So notice how in Latin the verb goes at the end of the sentence, whereas in English it often sounds quite funny to do that. So look closely when you're translating your sentences and start off with the first word in the sentence, which is the noun doing the verb. Then you go to the end to translate your verb, and this will help your sentences to make a lot more sense, and that way your Latin translations will be more accurate. So I have two key points or takeaways that I want you to have from this video. Number one, there's no word for the or a in Latin, so you need to add it in when you're translating so that your translations sound good. Number two, Latin verbs usually go at the end of the sentences, so that's where you're going to look for them, next to the full stop, and make sure that you change the word order around when you translate into English, so again you have nice sounding sentences. Well done, walete.